How does it power your smartphone? What happens when you recharge it? And probably what we're all wondering, why does your battery die earlier and earlier in the day? To answer these questions, let's open up this battery and look inside. So first, how does your battery power your smartphone? Let's start from what we know. All batteries have a positive terminal and a negative terminal and supply power or electricity to our portable devices. So electricity is essentially a flow of electrons in our smartphone. Electrons which are negatively charged flow from the negative terminal and run things like the speakers or the display, and then end up in the positive terminal. So then, where does this flow of electrons come from? Well, this is a lithium-ion battery, so the electrons come from the element lithium. At the negative terminal, which is technically called the anode, lithium is stored between layers of carbon graphite, similar to the graphite in your pencil. Graphite has a nifty crystal structure of layered planes that allows the lithium to be wedged in between each of the layers. The technical term for this is intercalation. Graphite functions as a kind of like stable storage space for lithium atoms. Okay, moving on. One inherent property of the element lithium is that it doesn't like its outermost electron, and it wants to give it up. When there is an available path from the negative terminal to the positive terminal, this electron separates from the lithium and starts heading to the other side. At the same time, the lithium leaves the graphite and becomes positively, or +1 charged, and is now called a lithium ion. FYI, an ion is just a fancy word for an atom who has lost or gained an electron and thus is charged. When a lot of lithium atoms leave the graphite at the same time, a flow of electrons is built up. So, let's now jump to the positive terminal, which is technically called the cathode. Here we have cobalt, which has lost some electrons to oxygen, thus making the cobalt positive, or +4 charged. As a result, it wants to gain back an electron. So when we connect the negative and positive terminals to our smartphone, the electrons flow from the lithium, which wants to give up an electron, through the circuits and components in the smartphone, and to the cobalt, which wants to gain an electron.